Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It is Thursday, January 27th, 2021. Hello, and welcome to Facebook Live with Jennifer. Hello to Linda in Idaho, and Jewel and Robin. Susan, good morning. France, hello. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Kathy. And Tommy, and hey Susan, thank you for sharing. Good morning, Liz. Awesome to see everybody here. My name's Jennifer Cotton. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas. That means I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, and more with stamps, ink, paper, and lots of cool tools. So if you're watching for the first time, did I say the wrong year? I don't even remember, France. January 27th, 2022. Anyway, if you're watching for the first time, you can learn some that anyone can craft, that anyone can do these cool techniques and skills with no skill. I'm not naturally crafty at all. I've been doing this, teaching this for 20 years now, and I do this as a full-time job. I'm getting distracted by the comments. I do this as a full-time job. So you can purchase this product from me. I have an online store. I have catalogs. And I have classes that people can take that get mailed to you, or you can take them in person if you're local here near Texas. And you would complete them at home with your own stamps and ink. So any questions on any of this stuff, let me know. Let me catch up here. I missed a bunch of comments. I always forget who I ended with. So Jackie, good morning. Hello, Kathy. And Tommy, yay, I'm glad you're here. Cindy, good morning. Pat, thanks for sharing, Pat and Cindy. Hey, Amanda, good to see you. Kathy in North Dakota. Stella, good morning. Hey, Marcia, I'm glad you made it. I know it's been hard to catch lately for you. Carol in very cold Connecticut. And Sherry, good morning. Charlotte and Ramona. Hey, Ramona, haven't seen you in a little bit. Good morning. Mary Ann, she says, fearless leader. She's always very nice to me. Hey, Debbie and Paula and Margie and Terry. Hey, Terry, thanks for sharing, by the way. So as y'all come on to this video, anyone on replay or watching live on YouTube or Facebook, say hi, make a comment, ask a question. Any thing like that you do is going to get you entered to win the cards I'm making today. And I'm going to use this super cute set called Catching Butterflies. This is a celebration stamp set, so it is currently free with a purchase. It's located in the celebration catalog. There's lots of products that are free with a $50 purchase or a $100 purchase. We have both, but this one's $50. Anyway, I'm going to use it to make some cards today. And I will also be using with it the Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper, which is a 6x6 paper, also free with a $50 purchase. No limit. If you spend $100, you can choose one 100 or two 50s. You can choose two of the same thing if you qualify. No limitations, but it all ends February 28th. Okay, so you can be entered to win those cards by making a comment. And then if you share the video, make sure you comment that you shared, like lots of people have been commenting. And like Martha, good morning, Martha. Thanks for sharing. And sorry, I'm like, Marcia, do you have COVID again? No. Anyway, anyone who commented that they shared, that's because the platforms don't tell me who shared. So to get that extra entry, comment that you shared so I will know. And I appreciate it because all that stuff helps me with my business. Even just clicking like, thumbs up, hearts, any of those reactions helps my business. So thank you guys very much. I think Susan's saying the stamp set is cute. Hey, Sandy, good morning. And Rita, hello, and thanks for sharing. Okay, so I'm going to share about some upcoming events I have. So first of all, every month I do offer in-person events, and they're offered to go to anyone in the U.S. So they're my monthly classes. So the ones for February are coming up on February 19th or mailed by February 21st. You can see here on the left, well, first of all, across the top, any class I talk about when I'm talking to you includes a PDF tutorial, everything cut, die cut, punched, embossed, possible. With the exception of you just cut your designer paper and or kit components if they're included with your class fee. All of these are offered in the US. Most of these are offered if you just want to buy the tutorial only. And then my monthly classes are the ones that are always offered in person to go or to check out the supplies from my house and stamp at your house. So these classes are, hey Paula, hey Landa, thanks for sharing Paula, thanks for sharing Cindy, and good morning Cindy, and Marcella, good morning. Awesome. And if I miss your comments, like sometimes even when I scroll back, I know that I saw 2 people and there'll be someone new in between them that I didn't see the first time. So if I miss your comments, it's not on purpose, like I'm not skipping a person, but sometimes Facebook shows them later for some reason. So hey Teresa, good morning, hot potato. Oh, I was going to say hot tamale. That's what you usually say. I like hot potato because I really like potatoes. Hey Tammy, good morning. Okay, so those 4 classes I was talking about, they are card class, scrapbook class, Stamp-A-Stack class, and sampler class. Card and scrapbook are $15, free with a $20 order. These are both clubs you can join and get host benefits. Any questions on any of my stuff, ask me. Sign up for my email newsletter, which will be linked in the video in both platforms. Facebook message me, email me, etc. Okay. Card class for February will use the Honeybee Home bundle, super cute bundle with gorgeous designer paper, etc. It's 4 cards for $15 free with a $20 order. And I have a registration, well, it's not set up yet, but all of these will have registration links. Okay, scrapbook class, 3 12 by 12 pages for $15 free with a $20 order. We're going to make some spring and Easter pages with the Flowering Tulips bundle and the Easter Friends set. So we'll make 3, and then in March we'll make the matching one to the one that only is a single, if that makes sense. That club has space in it as well. If you're interested in joining the club, you can be long distance or local. Okay, and then the other 2 classes are priced differently. Hey Jean in North Dakota. Let me see. Yes, sampler is, I'm remembering now that it's Rainbow of Happiness because I'm reading it there, which is on, these dies are on low inventory. Darn it. So order those now if you want them. And if you know you're going to take my sampler class and you don't have it yet, order it now before it goes on not orderable temporarily. Anyway, I'm using this Rainbow of Happiness to make an adorable sampler. Of course, you're going to get some of this Celebration designer paper with your fee to complete your projects. And you get, for $28, you get over $20 in merchandise. And then all the supplies, cut, die cut, punched, etc. to make a cute sampler, kind of like this. Here's the one we made this month in January for Valentine's. And the rainbow one will just be, you know, rainbow stuff. It'll be super cute, kind of springy, but just a generic, adorable rainbow sampler. Okay, so that's $28, includes $20 in merchandise. You can add shipping to any of these classes when you register. These 4 are one link, so you can save shipping. You only pay it one time for 1, 2, 3, or 4 classes. And then Stamp-A-Stack is 12 cards for $30, and it includes $20 in merchandise. And again, we cut, die cut, punch. You just cut your designer paper. These are the cards from last month's Stamp-A-Stack. So you made 3 of each design to add up to 12. And I really, really liked these cards. So I hope everyone else did that took the class as well. I don't have my other, well, I had the sampler. Anyway, I don't know where my other samples are right now. But, so that's the 4 monthly classes. Okay, then up next, thank you for the hearts and likes, is the, I'm going to throw this graphic up again, the Get Ready for Spring Stamp Camp. The deadline to register is coming up on February 6th in the US, or you can take this one in Canada. Sign up by February 1st, and I can provide you the link to sign up with Genevieve in Canada. And you are going to have a Rainbow of Happiness stamp camp. So you're going to make 10 projects using that Rainbow of Happiness bundle along with Happy and Heartfelt stamp set. You're going to get a goodie bag, a Facebook party on February 26th, 10 projects, door prize entries, a gift from us. It's really fun, and it's a whole Facebook party, which you don't have to be present for. You can always watch replay. But we do a couple little bonus videos in there. You get a PDF tutorial, all that stuff. And then there's 2 bonus classes that are optional, and actually you can just take one bonus class, 2 bonus classes, or the camp only. You can mix and match any way you want. So the Friends classes are the Friends of the Forest card class, which includes the Friends of the Forest stamp set. Let me grab it here. Super cute set. So isn't that going to be adorable little spring cards? And that includes some designer paper, but if you own the stamp set, because it's with the fee, you can substitute. It's in the registration form. And then Genevieve's class is the Easter Friends class. She's actually already designed hers. She's on top of it. You're going to make Easter projects with this one, and you'll get the stamp set with the fee, but you can substitute if you already own it. And then let me show you Happy and Heartfelt. We're using this with our camp for extra greetings. Ooh, all my lights are terrible. But you can, sorry, it's not included with the fee. So you provide it yourself, so you can substitute different greetings if you want, or order Happy and Heartfelt. You can add it on when you register because it's super cute. So hopefully that makes sense. Register by February 6th here in the US, February 1st in Canada. Ask me for the links. They'll be in my 3 o'clock email that goes out today, so sign up for my email list if you're not on it. And, of course, just ask me for any details. By the way, I'm going out of town next week. I'm going on my stamping cruise. It starts on Sunday, so the best way to contact me next week will be Facebook Messenger or email, because I'll basically just have internet, and you will, what am I trying to say? Oh, I won't be going live next week due to being on the stamping cruise. Okay, next, Daffodil Daydream card class with games online. This is an event that's happening on Thursday, March 10th on Zoom. By the way, the stamp camp, everything's just mailed to you. You complete at home with your stamps and ink, and with PDF tutorial, and then we have the Facebook party. Daffodil Daydreams, there's a Zoom you get to attend, so you get to interact with people, visit, meet new friends that love stamping, and make at least 4 projects with the Daffodil Daydream bundle, which I've worked with recently. It's super cute. There's all these daffodil dies. It's awesome. So that's a Zoom event. You do want to attend the Zoom because we play bingo for door prizes to win hundreds of dollars in prizes. You get some product, so a little goodie bag. You get at least 4 projects, and you get the Zoom where you get to interact with people. And then we have the stamping at the end where we can, you can ask questions and all that stuff. So that event is March 10th. You want to register by February 27th. Again, links not in the videos, but in the emails going out, or I can send them to you directly. Okay, March Retreat in a Box. This is basically if you cannot attend the in-person retreat, you can get all the stuff our in-person people receive mailed to your door, complete at home, stamps with your stamp ink paper. So our March one is going to use the Flowering Fields Suite, which is gorgeous. I'm going to try to work on it this week on the cruise, but I'm not going to promise because we'll see how that goes. Sometimes you get busy on a cruise ship, but we have the whole crafting room open to us all week. So this is the Flowering Fields Suite. There's 2 bundles that we'll be using, lots of cute designer paper and embellishments and some other stuff we'll be using. To make at least 10 projects, you get a $50 goodie bag. You get gifts, you get a bag. It's awesome. So definitely that's something you want to take, in my opinion, the retreat in a box. And let me see, sign up and pay by Sunday, March 13th. Kits mailed by approximately April 1st. Okay, so there's that. And then there's 2 optional classes you can add on or take separately with the same link. It's Jennifer's Hello Ladybug class. I'm really excited about this one. And I'm going to try to work on it during the cruise. I can't promise I'll come home finished, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. And then April's also working on hers at the cruise. We do the cruise together and we do retreats together. And she's doing the Heart and Home class. Now, each of these classes include $35 in merchandise. You're going to make, for mine, you're going to make cards and gift boxes. And for April's, you're going to make 12 cards. They're awesome classes. So again, you can take the class only, retreat only, or mix and match. And all of it is in the registration link. So any questions, let me know. All right. Oh, and by the way, for retreats and for the cruises, you can join our Simply Spoiled Retreats Facebook group to get all the info. Not that I can't tell you, but I'm going to go back and see who I missed here. Teresa shared. Thank you. Hey, Tammy. Jean in North Dakota. Is it cold there? Tammy shared. Thank you. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Stacy in New York. Thanks for sharing. Good to see you. Diane, snowy, cold Minnesota. Woo. Lorraine, good morning. Mary Ann, can't wait for retreat. Mary Ann gets to attend in person. It's very limited for March this year, but next year we'll have more space. Hey, Lori. I think I was somehow mixing up hello with your name. Hello, Lori and Janet in North Carolina. Good to see everybody. By the way, here it's 45 degrees. It's not like freezing cold. I did have to go check the mail this morning, which is like across the street, and it was okay. I'm not sure, oh my goodness. I wasn't talking to Siri. Anyway, I just put my coat on, but it was fine. Some of you guys are like freezing cold. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Okay, so next up, I'm almost done. Retreats. We do have in-person retreats here in Texas, in Temple, Texas, that have space. So May 12th through 15th and August 11th through 14th. You can come hang out with me in April for a full weekend, plus a bunch of other cool people. Oh, New York, upstate New York, 2 degrees. Okay, Susan, you win. It's very cold in upstate New York. So you can come hang out with me in April and lots of other cool people. You get all your meals. You get the 50 goodie, the 10 make and takes, which you can use our supplies while you're there to make your make and takes, optional classes, all that stuff. So you can register for those now. And the links, of course, I can give you, but join that Facebook group also. Okay, our next stamping cruise is January 2023, Allure of the Seas. It's basically the same time as this year's end of January, which is, I think, an awesome time to cruise. It's pretty cold wherever you live, so once we get on that ship and get out of Galveston, we'll be in some warm weather, so that's awesome. And it is out of Galveston, Texas on Allure of the Seas. We're supposed to go to Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, Mexico, and Cozumel, Mexico. And I say supposed to because currently your ports can change because of the pandemic. So we'll see next year. Okay, February's Paper Pumpkin is these adorable little animals. It looks like is that a monkey or an gorilla? Okay, I don't even know what the next one is. Something that has antlers. And then a skating elephant. Stampin' Up! Does not usually give us sneak peeks like this where you actually see the project, so that's pretty cool. How you can get that kit, which will come in a box like this to your door. You can either go to my link for Paper Pumpkin and subscribe, which is going to save you some money. It's only $22 plus tax. Shipping is included, and you can cancel anytime by February 10th. The 10th of the month is always the deadline. Or you can just go to my online store and order 1 month worth, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. Starting at 3 months, you're over $50, so you'll get a free item from Bration, which is that book there. So don't forget about that. In the box, oh, this is the one. I just got February's yesterday, of course, because I just got January's yesterday. I'm sorry. They're running a little late because of the supply chain issues. But you always get an ink pad. You get an exclusive stamp set. This one's really cute. Look at that X and O. Go the right direction. This one is cards. So there are these cute tri-fold. Well, I know of 3 extras of this kit if anyone needs one. I have some and someone else has some. So, instructions and then all the supplies to make all your projects. That was one of the tri-folds. There is another design in here that's pink. You get envelopes always if it's cards. You get embellishments if needed. So there's some sequins there that are sticky back. You get these little die cut pieces. Pretty awesome. It's great for anyone. Paper Pumpkin. So kids, bored kids, kids parties. You can order ahead and up your subscription to get 5, 6, 7, whatever. Yeah, mine literally just came yesterday, and I get multiples, and they didn't all come. So I would start watching the mailman now. Anyway, kids parties, retirement centers, friends who you want to stamp with you, ease them into it, all-inclusive kit, etc. And the one for February that I was telling you about, it says, make every occasion a celebration with stamps that say yay, fantastic, and other fun phrases. The colors that are matching are Bumblebee, Freesia, and Soft Succulent. And you're going to get a rich raspberry ink spot. And it says it's a party-themed kit. So, join that now. And hopefully everybody who's missing theirs, they will come soon. Good morning, Shirley. Good to see you. Oh, Susan got hers yesterday. Yes. I want to see what Jean said. In Western North Dakota, we will get up to freezing later today. Thawing earlier this week, which makes it really icy. That's not good. Yes, I do not like ice. Trying to make sure I caught up there. Okay. I keep forgetting to say this on my Facebook Lives, which is not smart of me, but I have an incentive for my customers right now. It goes until the end of February. It's called Celebration, and it is an incentive where you can earn a free event from me. It can either be mailed to you or you can attend in person. So this event is, how you earn this event is during Celebration, January and February 2022. By purchasing, if you place orders through me of $150 or more, I add them all up. Any orders that are placed in the online store, or if you text or email me an order, or if you're in my clubs and you place an order, etc. If it all adds up to $150 or more, you get to attend this event free. If you host an online workshop of $150 or more with me during Celebration, which of course that just means we get together on Facebook, we do some stamping with you and your friends, they order, you're the host, you get host benefits, and you'll qualify for my free event if it adds up to $150 or more. Or if you take 5 qualifying classes. So some of you have already taken the ones that passed, like January's Stamp a Stack, January's Sampler, the new catalog kickoff, and the paper share. But you can still take, to add to those, the Stamp a Stack or Sampler in February, and my club members count, so count yourself in. and the Get Ready for Spring Stamp Camp. So, or I don't know if I'm supposed to say so there, but what I want to say is, once you qualify, there is a link I need you to fill out. And it just is like your name, I don't remember what else, and then how did you qualify? And I have like fill in the blank kind of deals. So the link is in my emails. It's also on my blog, stamptherapist.com. You know what I just realized? Oh, no, it's fine. When I point my camera down, you'll see my blog address. Like, my blog's missing, but I don't have it on the screen. Okay, so free event. That's to thank you for your business during celebration, because first of all, you guys have been awesome, and thank you for your support. And so it's a reward for you. Just, I don't want anyone to miss out, so make sure you fill out that survey. Hey, Shirley, thank you for sharing. Ramona got hers yesterday. I know Ramona's in Texas. Susan is in another state. So, you know, of course, the state we're in, even the city can make a difference there. Because someone just like a city over from me yesterday said she didn't get hers yet in our team. So, okay. I think I'm ready to point the camera down. Might as well. And now you'll get to see at the top, stamptherapist.com is my blog, which has like class information, samples, all kinds of stuff. Just check all the tabs on the top. And then my Stampin' Up! Inventory website, mystampinstuff.com. We've uploaded all the pictures, the descriptions, what coordinates, tags. It's a great website. You should definitely check out mystampinstuff.com. And then the host code. So every month I have an online ordering special. I'm trying to move my stuff out of the camera view here. Tight space here, even though this is a big table. Online ordering special. So there's a host code right here on the screen. When you go to my online store and place an order that is $150 or less, you use that host code, which is entered. Let me show you real quick. After you click the shopping bag at the top right, where it's a little bag with a heart on it, you will see the word checkout, and above that you'll see add host code. And if you haven't seen my name and picture yet in the top left, you will after you add my host code. And that will link you to this online ordering special. So the special is for with a $25 or more online order with that code, you get a class packet to make these 4 cards mailed to you in February for free. If your order is 50 or more, right now, you're going to also receive a free full roll of this gorgeous gray granite ribbon. Shimmer. Now, I'm like, is it called shimmer satin? But anyway, this gorgeous shimmery satiny gray granite ribbon. Now, if you order 150 or more, you still qualify for all of this. However, don't use the host code. You're also going to qualify for Stampin' Up! Rewards. Plus, you're going to get a free celebration item for every 50 or 100 spent, even on the $50 order. But you'll get at least $15 free from Stampin' Up! And I will give you the class packet and the free ribbon. So hopefully that makes sense. But if you have questions, let me know. Also, if you don't know how to place online orders, I can place them for you. I just do need your credit card info to be able to do that. Okay, so any questions, let me know. It's a gorgeous kit. I did a video on it a while back. You can check that out. I already showed these products before, but here they are from our stamp camp with less glare from my darn lights, which I have to shine on my face to look halfway decent. And then, oh, I want to show this card that I received in the mail from Liz. So I wanted to show, it's one of our note cards and envelopes, which are great value. It's like $7 for 20 envelopes, 20 note cards, the white part here. So she mailed it in that, but she put this embossed piece of white in front to protect. So the card went through the mail like that. I don't want to show the other side because I'll show her address accidentally. But pretty cool. So then that protected all of these gorgeous rainbows. Look at that. So she made it on the note card, but of course you just trim your stuff down. And then she has a nice typed note in here. And it says, "This sweet little sticker made me think of you, your yucky cat. You always say you're not crafty or an artist, but that's not true. You inspire people every day through your enthusiasm to be more creative and confident. Thanks for the inspiration and inclusion. Taking the time to add photo descriptions and describe your work makes a huge difference and people notice. With love, Liz." And Liz, I'm sure, knows that I'm not always great at that, but I try to describe stuff as well as I can and add those photo descriptions. Look at this cute magnet. It says, "I'm artist," and it's a little black cat, which, if y'all don't know my black cat, Yucky, she doesn't live here anymore because my daughter stole her. And then technically it was her cat, but whatever. Okay. So thank you, Liz. Thank you, Liz. I'm going to show these new, they're called natural tones blends, but I call them skin tones, but their technical real name is called Natural Tones Stampin' Blends. These new natural tones come out February 1st for customers. Demonstrators can order them now. Yes, Pat, very cute tag. I agree. So demonstrators can order these plus all this other product now. They are Stampin' Up's new skin tone line, which again, I'm going to show this when I do my projects. Actually, I think I don't use them until the end, but that's fine. Anyway, the skin tones blends will be in our new catalog in May. However, the dies, the stamp set, and the designer paper will not. So we have these will be while supplies last, starting February 1st. The Here Together stamp set, this is has sign language in it, as well as all these awesome greetings and a heart. Then there's a set of dies, which also there's two sign language images, the I love you and the I promise. And there's dies to cut those hands out. It's literally hands. And they're to be colored in so you can add the skin tone. Awesome. Anyway, so you can die cut out the hands. You can die cut out the small heart that's an outline. And then there's these awesome big words that say "You matter" and "Here for you." Which y'all know I love big word dies. So there's that. And then this awesome black and white designer paper that's 6x6. Again, while supplies last, except for the skin tone blends. So it's black and white. There's lots of cool images. It's got a big variety of styles. Can't flip it, see? But some of them have the hands on them in doing different things that then we can color in with our skin tone blends. So, pretty cool. So you can start ordering it February 1st unless you're a demonstrator, or you go ahead and get the demonstrator kit now. And then you can even, like someone, I won't name names, in my team, or she's in my team now because she just ordered the starter kit and she got, at least she told me she was. I can't actually see what's in your starter kit. She told me she was going to select these new products in her kit. Plus she got 2 free stamp sets of her choice because that's one of the celebration specials. So when you, don't forget, during celebration, which ends I wish. It ends February 28th. It used to end in March. There's 3 specials, and the joining special is for $99 plus tax only, free shipping. You choose 125 of any current product you want, which includes any demonstrator pre-orders, which is what this stuff is now. Then you get 2 free stamp sets of your choice from the annual catalog or the mini catalog. Not host sets and not celebration, but any that we sell. And then, and you pick which sets. I mean, it's pretty darn cool. You'll get a free past paper pumpkin kit, and then you'll get to be on my amazing team. I have the best demonstrators in the company. And there's perks they can get through me if they choose to participate. Creative challenges, recognition, meetings, swaps, all that stuff. Okay, so that's the kit special. purchasing for every $50 or $100 you spend, you get to pick a free gift from this book. No limit. We have the Island Vibes, which I showed last week, stamp set, Daffodil Afternoon designer paper, 12 by 12, goes with those daffodil stamps. Catching Butterflies is the set I'm using today. This, well, I'll describe it then. Driving By stamp set. All these are free with 50. Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper using today. My book's already falling apart. I'm gonna skip. Oh, the Simply Marvelous 6x6 designer paper free with 50. Awesome Otters free with 50. And then Friendly Hello stamp set and 12 by 12 designer paper is free with a $100 purchase. And the Special Moment stamp set is free with a $100 purchase. And then there's a hosting special, which, remember, host just means ordering 150 or more. So with a $300 order or party, which is combined orders, you, in addition to our host benefits, you get Calming Camellia free. Gorgeous stamp set. Okay, so those are all the specials with Celebration. I told you about my ordering and sneak peek. Celebration specials, my two specials that are going on right now. So I'm going to get started stamping. I'm going to check my notes though, with Catching Butterflies and this new awesome Rainbows designer paper, which are both free with purchase. Quick reminder, even if you're watching replay, if you just found and came on this video, any of that stuff, make sure you say hi, leave a comment. Any of that stuff, any comment you make will get you entered to win the cards I'm making today, 3 of them. It's pre-done. Didn't really want to show that yet. And if you share the video on, this is for YouTube and Facebook, if you share the video, make sure you comment that you shared and that gets you entered again. Okay, so for my first card, I have the, my card base, sorry, is Flirty Flamingo cardstock. So it's a half sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So it's 5.5 by 8.5. And you can just cut your paper in half, and once you fold it in half, it fits into the invitation size envelope. So I'm going to fold this in half with my bone folder. So I will try to only crease it with the bone folder, but I align those 2 corners on the table first. And then I'm going to show y'all something too here. This is my favorite fun fold that I don't want to say famous for, but famous for using it all the time. I'm just going to fold the front all the way back to the left edge. So this is a portrait shape or orientation card. Fold the left all the way back to line up with the left side. Fold the front and use that bone folder to fold. Now you could also score this if you really like a crisp fold, but I don't recommend using just your finger because it's not a very good fold. Okay, so that's a Z fold card. Very simple and easy. And then I have actually this has not been cut down yet. I'm going to cut this for you because I want to show you what I did today. I have a piece of basic white cardstock that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 to go on the inside there, since that's going to show on the front of our card. And it's just a 1/4 inch smaller on each side. And then I pre-die cut 2 labels of the same size from our Hippo and Friends dies. So these are dies that go along with a stamp set that has hippos and horses and unicorns and a sheep, I believe, but it has all these awesome labels. So this is the largest label of the ones that are like, I don't know what you call the shape, but it's like when you take a rectangle and then cut the 4 corners off at an angle. It's the largest one. And they all, well, no, they don't all, but 2 of them have stitch marks, which this one does. So it's awesome. And then I cut the same shape, the largest one, in Pool Party. Okay, then my designer paper, like I said, is from Sunshine and Rainbows. there is a 6x6 sheet here, and I'm actually only using that sheet on all 3 cards. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, but I don't want to show the other 2 cards yet because y'all know how I am. So I'm just going to cut it for the last card actually, which I need a 3 3/4, and it will be portrait. So I want the stripes going across the front. So I'm going to put it at 3 3/4 first, with the stripes going the correct direction, and cut that off. And then that one will be 5 inches tall. So I'll go ahead and cut that off. So this is for the last card. I have a little strip that I just cut off the bottom of that I'm not going to use. And then this piece will be for the first card. And it's going to be 1 7/8, which is the standard size when making these cards, by 5 1/4. Okay, so after, and you'll see how this makes 3 cards actually. After making the 3 cards, I have these little scraps left over. And by the way, this design is, let me grab my designer paper. It is pretty much all of the colors used in this paper. Maybe not all. It is Pool Party, Flirty Flamingo, and So Saffron. And it's kind of light and dark versions of all of those in stripes that are about 1/8 of an inch thick, but each stripe has a pattern in it. So like polka dots that are white, or little lines that are white, or hash marks that are white, etc. So hopefully that makes sense on that design. The back side is all Pool Party with little doodled lines going, white doodled lines going across. Okay, and real quick, Sunshine and Rainbows, super cute paper, 6x6, 48 sheets, free with a $50 purchase through February 28th. And I forgot to say that none of the Celebration stuff comes back. It's exclusive to Celebration. You cannot purchase it later. You have to get it while it's free. Great way to do that is be a demonstrator, because your orders will count towards Celebration after you get the starter kit. Ooh, no way I'm going to get that back in there on a video. Okay, so I'm just going to keep that piece for this card, and I've actually already cut the pieces for my other cards, so I'll throw all that aside. And now for my stamping. So I'm going to stamp on the 2 white pieces, the label and the 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to grab scratch paper and put it under, since I will be going off the edges here. I'm going to use actually a lot of stamps from the set on this card. So what this set has in it, it's called Catching Butterflies. It has this one little girl. There's only one person image, and she is wearing a dress. She has kind of long hair that's blowing in the wind. She's holding a net up above her head, and it's like she's running, catching butterflies. And she's kind of, I don't know what you call that style, but cartoon style, big eyes, large head. Very cute. But anyway, so that's the one image. It's pretty large, almost 3 inches tall there. Then there is a stamp that's a grouping of butterflies that are flying around, and they're all of these are outline images, so you can color them in. Then there's a small single butterfly image. Then there's this little like squiggly line image that can be the ground for her to be running on. And the greeting I'm using says "Celebrate every beautiful thing," and each word is on top of each other, so it's like a rectangle. And that one, I mean, I'm going to use every stamp in the set, so I'll describe the other ones as I use them. Hey, Joni. Oh, Pat says this is one of her favorite pages. That's awesome. It's definitely, like, it could be a, what am I doing with my positioning here? It could be a lesser favorite simply because it doesn't have rainbows on it, but it is really cute. I agree, Pat. And I was just trying to use one that would look cute with this, you know, stamp set which a lot of them would. But anyway, I didn't do rainbows is kind of what I'm getting at. But I'm glad you like that. Julie says, don't even have the stamp set. Love it, love it. I'm trying to read. I'm not sure, Julie. I mean, I don't remember what labels I was showing, so I apologize for that. Sue is in snowy Wisconsin. Julie loves the new blends. I agree. Donna shared. Thank you, Donna. And Yvonne. And good morning, Yvonne. Linda, can't understand why hubby wants breakfast when I go live. I agree. What is his deal? Hey, in Georgia, Maryland. Joni, good morning. Cindy, good morning. Oh, the hippo set. Okay, so now let me go back and read what you said. Don't even have those labels. So you don't have those dies. That's one, my friend Alejandra literally just said this on her Facebook Live like 2 days ago. She was like, I've never even stamped the hippo one time, but I love these dies. And I literally am the same. I've never stamped. I have the stamp set and the dies, but I've only used those label dies. It's a very cute stamp set, by the way. I'm looking for my ink pads. It was $1 million stamp set that someone got to help design. But I just love those dies. Like, that's all I've used. Okay, let's do some stamping. Pool Party ink. What I'm going to use first. I just re-inked it recently, like yesterday. I'm going to stamp this girl in Pool Party. So this is the card where I'm stamping her without, well, actually I did color, but in general without coloring her in. So she's just going to go right on top of this label, portrait, orientation, just kind of right in the middle. It might go off the edge a little bit depending on where you stamp it, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and clean this because I'm going to use it in black on another card. Just use my Simply Chamois, get it wet, squeeze the water out, clean with it. When you're finished or when it's too inky, rinse it out in the sink until it runs clear. The water runs clear. It'll be all stained like this, but you can use it forever. And we sell these cases separately. They're on the same page in the catalog. They're also stamped. You can use these cases for a bunch of stuff. Embellishments, stamp sets, dies, etc. But you get 4 of them for like $6. Oh, but don't put the chamois in a sealed bag or something because then it'll get moldy. Okay, now I'm going to add the ground under her in Pool Party. I think this could go either direction, so I don't really think it matters, but these are red rubber, so you need to be very careful that you're only tapping and stamping straight down and straight up so that you don't get ink on those edges and it comes off on your project. If you smush this in there, you get ink everywhere, and if you stamp too hard, you get ink from that edge. But if you will just tap, which is how you're supposed to use our ink pads on every stamp, tap, and you're definitely not supposed to see your image in your stamp pad. If you see that, you're pressing too hard. Tap, tap, tap. You can move it around to different spots and then hold it down firmly for a few seconds and pick it up. You get a perfect image. Okay, stamping lesson for the day. Now I'm going to bring in Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to put this single butterfly up here right in front of her little net on the label. So cute. And then I'm going to put the grouping of butterflies over here. And I'll show you how it's going to lay out on the top right of this basic white that's portrait so that there's more butterflies for her to chase and catch. And I'm trying to remember, I think I stamped it a couple of times. So actually I want to use this layout. I'm going to put the card kind of fake together to see where to stamp those. So right about there. And now I will remove this from the card base because I'm going to go off the edges onto my scratch paper and stamp this image 2 more times to the right of that. But they go off the edges. So that's the inside there. But also on the inside, I want my greeting down here in the bottom right. So celebrate every beautiful thing in Flirty Flamingo. Right there. Yay. Okay, I think that's all the stamping. And then I was going to leave her just stamped like that, no coloring. Then I decided to go ahead and color in her dress in Pool Party. So I'll do that. Pool Party Stampin' Blends, I should say, which are alcohol-based markers, just like our new skin tones. So they're going to bleed through the other side. I'm going to do, this is just my version, I'm going to do dark first. Down here at the bottom of the dress, it has not ruffles, it's like it's overlapped on itself. And then I'll use light Pool Party all over, including over the dark section. And our ink pads are water-based, so they, in general, will work with your Stampin' Blends. But I have found you need to test them, because sometimes you'll stamp with one of our water-based ink pads, and when you color with blends, it'll smear the ink a little. But I figured Pool Party on Pool Party would be no problem, even if it smeared a little. But I normally just use Memento Black for my coloring, for stamping to color with blends, because you need a water-based ink to color with alcohol-based markers. Okay, so there she is with her little blue dress. She's just all blue. And I can't remember why I did a second one, but there was some reason. It wasn't because I thought I would mess this up, but anyway, who knows. Okay. Oh, I am going to grab my trimmer again. So the reason I cut two, I'm going to stamp on that. I'm going to switch. The reason I cut the Pool Party label also is to give this sort of a border, to give that white label a border. And so you could hand cut this, but what I'm going to do is cut the top and bottom of this off with my trimmer real quick, right below the angle. I don't know how to describe that. The corner right below it on each end. It does not need to be perfect, but you do want that corner to remain there. I found after I didn't use the corner the first time. So I have the top and bottom, and then this middle part is just to save for some small project later. And then what I do for anytime you do something like this, where you cut off the ends of a punch or whatever to mat onto your project, is I add adhesive. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal here. On the back of the piece that's in front. So the white piece is getting adhesive on top and bottom. Then I lay the portion of the punch or die on my table. Don't pick it up. And then I place the bigger piece on top of it. And that allows me to really position it exactly where I want, see how much of a border I want, etc. And then that's especially helpful on the second one when you're trying to match it to the first one. So hopefully that makes sense. And now she has a little border there, and it just looks a little bit better on this particular card. Okay. Oh, and I use the silicone craft sheet in case I went too far with my adhesive, like past the edges, and then it would only go on the silicone sheet, which makes it magically disappear. And oh my goodness, I think it let me go back live. Is anyone still here? Hello? So, yep, I lost internet, Julie. So now that I think I'm back, can someone verify that I'm back? Please? Yay! Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Wendy. So, honestly, I don't think it was the cold. I am not even going to go into the issues we've been having here with internet, but hopefully I will keep streaming until the end. Let me try to talk faster. Okay, thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Catherine, Ramona, Martha, thank you guys. My gosh. I can't believe it didn't cut it into 2 videos though. Okay, so I saw it looked like the last thing I was saying was about using the silicone sheet to not get adhesive everywhere. So I glued that in. Then I attached the designer paper on the left side. And now I'm going to add, thank you, Jackie. Thanks, Stella. I appreciate you guys. Donna, Shannon, and hello, everybody. The label with the girl on it, I'm going to flip it directly upside down and center it left to right. Thank goodness I looked up at the camera because I was just talking and talking. I mean, I looked up at the iPad. Okay, so the reason I do this, so it's upside down, but it's centered where I'm going to actually place it, is so I can see where to place these Stampin' Dimensionals on the left side only, so that they do not creep over and go past the center, which is this left piece, and close my card shut. So now that I've done that, I'll add a couple here on the left, maybe 3, so 6 total. I'm using mini Stampin' Dimensionals, forgot to mention that. Well, maybe I haven't used them yet. They're just my favorites, so that's what I use now. And then this piece goes right in the center, approximately, supposedly. Nobody has to be perfect when they're stamping. And then when you open it with the Z fold, she will come with that left side, and it just opens like that. And of course, no dimensionals there. I didn't think about how this would look on the inside, honestly, until just now. That's how my sample looks too. So if you don't like how, because you can see the back side where the coloring goes through, and we glued the pool party to the top and bottom, you could cut another white piece and just attach that right on top before you glue this. I mean, right on the top of the back before you glue this down. Didn't think about that. Okay, I'm going to add a bow to my, thank you, Martha. Oh, she says it looks fine. I was thinking she meant the internet because of the problem. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone would judge you on that. But if you want a more finished look, definitely. So this is our pool party sheer ribbon. I love it. It's so pretty. It's in our annual catalog, which means it's a product that'll be good until May at least. And I'm going to make a bunny ear bow. So I have 2 bunny ears, 1 in each hand, lots of space in between them. And then of course the 2 tails are hanging down. Most importantly, all my fingers are pointing at me. They're not twisted and turned the other direction, which twists and turns your ribbon. And then I'll go right hand over left. And then that same right one goes down in the bunny hole. And just grab that loop and pull. And then fix your bow. But this ribbon is so pretty. And of course this paper has pool party on it, so it's a perfect match there. Trim my ribbon. I want to show off this tag I got as a Christmas gift. So cute. And it says this belongs to Jennifer, and it has a picture of scissors on it, but it's like a resin or plastic tag with all that etched out of it. I always get confused which direction to cut my angles at the end of my bows. Okay, so I have my bow. Now let me mini glue dot that onto my project. I'll just peel the protective coating back until I see 1 dot. Press my bow or embellishment into the dot, pull it off, and then place that on the project. So I'm just going to put this down in the bottom left-hand corner of the white label. And there's the finished card. So it's actually pretty simple. You know, like design-wise, it's not like the most mind-blowing card ever. But to me, this stamp set, there's only a few ways to use it, you know, especially if you're using the girl. So I thought it was cute. It was actually inspired by, let me grab this card I received in a swap, where she stamped the girl in Bermuda Bay ink on a large white circle. And then it's not a Z fold, but she has a piece of, I think that's pool party. Yeah, pool party behind it with the butterfly stamped at the top right. Anyway, and then it's on a Bermuda base. So that was my inspiration for that card, to not have to color her in, because I think you always need a non-coloring option when you're doing, when you have a stamp set like this. But that's just me, because I don't, it's not that I don't like coloring. I actually like it with Stampin' Blends, but it's can be time consuming. So if you're in a rush. Okay, this next card is really pretty simple. So for this one, let me grab these dies. Are they? Okay, yes, I have my stitched rectangle framelit die, or dies, stitched rectangle dies. I keep thinking my camera is much higher than it is. And so let me just start with the designer paper. So remember, we have, for the last card, we have this 3 3/4 by 5 piece of the designer paper. Well, I cut a rectangle right out of the middle of it. I believe it's the third. No, hold on, let me test. It's the 4th largest on the right side when you receive these dies, rectangle. So I cut it right out of the center, but I need the border for my last card. So basically, I actually designed the last card first, and then I was like, I need to use that rectangle on another card. Okay, so that's where this card is. Now this rectangle, just also in case you need to know, is after die cut, it's about 2.5 by 4. Okay, so these are our, I love these stitch rectangles. You get 13 dies. They're all different shapes of rectangles. Some of them layer in front and behind each other, and some are standalones, but they're awesome. They're in the annual catalog. Okay, so that's where this rectangle came from. Now let me give you the pieces. We have our basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Fold that in half. Then the next piece is Mango Melody, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. This will be a landscape direction card, so that die cut designer paper stripes rectangle will be landscape, so the stripes are going up and down on this card. And then I've pre-punched a Flirty Flamingo heart from, let me grab these, all these punches, from our hearts, or I think it's called Heart Punch Pack. Oh. Which comes with 2 punches. You get the scalloped heart that's a little larger, and the regular heart that's a little tiny bit smaller, so they mat. So I punched the scalloped heart in Flirty Flamingo. The smaller heart I'm going to punch from some gorgeous paper that, if you don't have it, order it right away. It's called Mother of Pearl. You can see where I wrote it there. Mother of Pearl, like specialty paper. And I actually got this specific idea of this paper from Alejandra. She's done it a lot with these hearts, where the smaller heart is the mother of pearl. So can you see how gorgeous this paper is? It's like photo paper. It's slick. You don't feel any texture, but yet when you look at it, it's like glitter, sparkle. It's gorgeous. Like, get it now. So I'm just going to punch a heart from that to go on this other heart. It's so pretty. I bet Robin loves Mother of Pearl, because she is like our sparkle queen in our group. Julie, haven't bought Mother of Pearl yet. It's plenty of time. And I believe it's like, I don't want to say it wrong, but I feel like it's $5. It's not very expensive. Maybe $6. I think it's $6 actually, because I specifically ordered some recently, so I remember. Okay, so anyway, it's gorgeous. $6. So pretty. And then, by the way, let me just say this. I have a 1/2 inch strip of basic white. As long as it's a little over 2 inches, any length is fine, and I'll use that in a minute. But what I want to do next is emboss this Mango Melody cardstock. So I am using the Dottie Hearts embossing folders. This is one of those 2-packs where each one is about 3 1/4 inches wide. And so they'll fit into our mini machine. And one has, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of images. 3 of them are little bitty hearts and dots repeated, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of that. Then you have a row of just larger hearts that are like a 1/2 inch tall, with dots around them, and then it repeats. The one I'm using is this other one that just has the dotty hearts. So there's different hearts of different sizes as a background, but they're not solid lines. They're dots that form the hearts. That's the one I'm going to use for my background. I think this is the first time I've ever used these folders. Kind of weird. I don't know why. Honestly, I knew I wanted to use this one, and then I had to dig, and I was like, what is the other embossing folder that goes with this even look like? And I found it, and I was like, well, that's really cute. I don't know why I haven't used it. Okay, so you can, when you want to emboss the full sheet on these small folders, you can either do as much as possible and then run it back through with the other portion, or you can kind of do half and half. So I'm going to do half and half. So I'm going to put half of the paper into the folder. You always want to insert the folded end into your machine first. So let me put the machine over here. Never can see the, I'm going to turn it a little. Here's the handle that you crank. So the machine comes with everything you need to emboss and die cut everything we sell. So for these embossing folders, they're the regular ones, I'm going to remove number 2 because it's for die cutting, and I don't need number 4. I do need 2 of these, which are number 3. Yours will be numbered when you buy the machine. And then number 1, of course, you always need because that's the bottom plate thing. Okay, so basically it's number 1 and then a number 3, then your folder with the paper inside. Insert the folded end into the machine first, and then your top plate. And then you only have to crank it through 1 time. If you roll it backwards, you're not inserting the folded end first. Note to self, which can crack your folder. Yes, it has happened to me. So then I'm just going to do the other half. I'm not concerned in any way about these designs matching up. So I just reinserted the paper, get the other half, and I'm going to go from the other side. So I just flipped the direction. Just make sure your paper is not hanging out of the edge or it will destroy it. All your plates should be even, no matter what you're doing, die cutting, embossing, it doesn't matter. All these plates should be even on each end when you run it through the machine. And by the time we finish this card, no one will be able to notice there's a slight crease in the middle and the images don't match up. So, but isn't that cute? Dotty hearts. Literally just little dotted hearts. Just the dots are raised up. So now we just need our greeting to stamp on this little 1/2 inch strip, and then we'll have all our pieces to make this card. I'm using the greeting that says, "You make my heart happy." So this one is like all in one line, and "You make my heart" is cursive, and "happy" is all caps. Like not cursive, but it's like someone hand wrote it to me versus a print. I don't know. Okay, so Flirty Flamingo, ink gently. I'm just going to stamp this towards one end or the other of my 1/2 inch strip. Very crooked. Let me just try one more time. And if it's still crooked, we will go with it, and you will get the better card if you win. Much better. And then you can hand cut your, I want little banners on each end. You can hand cut those, but I'm going to use my punch instead. This is my tailored tag punch. So it actually makes a shape, you know, a tag shape. Not a tag, a label shape. But if you just insert your paper from the opening, you can use the corner at the top there and make your little banners. Make sure your punch is open when you do that. Okay, I'm going to trim a little bit off of the end here to be able to insert this properly. Also, when you do that, you can look like you put it in to where you see your image and then you back it back out. But you can always hand cut those as well. No big deal. Okay, now we have all our pieces to put this card together. Let's see if y'all are saying anything. Thank you, Donna. I forgot to look at your comments after the first card, like totally. So thank you guys for saying it was cute. Kathy, I lost internet. It wasn't you, it was me. Perfect timing. UPS delivered your order. Yay, Pat. I should have one by noon today. So that's awesome. Is the heart is in the annual. Catherine, the heart punches are in the annual. They've actually been around for a long time. I hope they continue to stay, you know. Okay, so for this card, I am going to wrap ribbon all the way around it, so I don't want to glue anything to my card base yet. First thing I'll do is attach the die cut stitched designer paper rectangle to the center of, and its landscape of the mango cardstock. Then I'm actually going to color my white crinkle seam binding with my dark flirty flamingo. So because I'm going to do that, I want to kind of see how much ribbon I need to wrap this all the way around and tie a bow. And then I'll trim that off and color it. I'm just like making a really loosey-goosey bow here because I'm going to take it back off. I cut way too much on my other sample, so I'm trying to be more frugal here. By the way, this ribbon is super staticky. You'll see it hanging on my hand there, and it can be very annoying if you're cutting multiple pieces for projects. The blend, when you color it with the alcohol markers, Stampin' Blend, it removes all the static. But if you're just using it white, a dryer sheet is your best friend. You just squeeze the ribbon between two pieces of the dryer sheet and dryer sheet. I feel like I'm saying that very country. And pull it through, and no more static. It's a miracle. And if you're a demonstrator and you're cutting a bunch for a class or a share or something, you definitely want to use that dryer sheet. Okay, here's some scratch paper I have, which you can see I colored my other one from. So I just take the brush tip end of my dark flirty flamingo Stampin' Blend. I pretty much always use the dark version of blend when I'm coloring ribbon, any ribbon. And you want to use the edge of your brush tip, not like color it flat, like, or straight up and down. So basically turn it on its side and scrape it across there. Also, if your blends are drying out, like the tip always dries out first because they are consumable. They're only like $4.50 each, so you can buy new ones. But there's still ink up in this part, which is great for your ribbon coloring. So I basically almost never throw blends away, no matter how dried out they are. Either this end is still good, or I can get ink to color my marker, my ribbon from that top of the brush tip, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but hey. And I'm just scooting this along. One mistake I did learn is don't use super dirty scratch paper to do this, because when it gets, the ink on it gets wet, it can soak up into your ribbon. I ruined a piece of ribbon that way recently. So, this little learn from my mistake kind of tip. And you can always check and see if you missed a spot on like a different color paper. A lot of times I do miss spots when I'm coloring the ribbon. It doesn't look like I did just now, but I did on my first one. So. Okay, so this ribbon, this is a landscape, remember. The ribbon is going across the front toward the bottom, and I'm going to tie the bow on the right hand side, the left hand side, but I always flip my project upside down to tie a bow. I'm going to grab my amazing reverse tweezers, available in my Amazon store on stamptherapist.com, and squeeze that ribbon so I have it in a plus sign with one hand here, and that's where you would ask your friend to put their finger on it. But just grab your reverse tweezers. Sorry. I saw a message. It still says on my computer, stream disconnected, attempting to connect. But I'm pretty sure I'm still live. So, thank you, Jean. Yes, the static, because it was making me crazy. And I was like, let me just try this. I use dryer sheets for heat embossing. Why not try it for this? Okay, so anyway, I got scared that I wasn't actually live because my computer says I'm not live. So wrap it around, get it, and then squeeze with the tweezers, and then the project is upside down to make the bow be right side up. And it's just a normal bow, like tying your shoes, not a bunny ear. Okay, and then fix your bow, of course. Get the loops and the tails how you want them. You can trim those tails. Yeah, looks pretty good. Oh. I threw the ribbon in what was not a trash can. And then I had noticed while I was tying it, my ribbon was a little crooked. So, of course, I can easily fix that. So this bow and ribbon is going across the bottom. Let me attach these two hearts together flat. I love Stampin' Seal, by the way. It's so sticky. You don't need to use very much. And then I'm going to place Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this heart. So I'll do 3. It's like a triangle. It's going to go up in this top right hand corner on the DSP and off the DSP designer series paper. And then I'll use a couple of dimensionals on my mini dimensionals on my greeting, but I'll put them more toward the center because just in case I go too far to the edges, it's going to be on the heart. So just right across the heart, going the same direction as the heart, if that makes sense, instead of straight with the card. And then I'll just attach this to my card base and I'll be finished with this card. So I think it turned out pretty cute for it's using Catching Butterflies, but it's just the greeting. You make my heart happy. We put a heart on there. The colors are super cute. It can be for any occasion, a friend, anyone. I mean, a relative, you know, mom, grandma, dad, whoever. It doesn't really matter. It's for anybody. It could be Valentine, just some alternative colors kind of. So I hope y'all like it. Jackie says, awesome colors. Thank you. Love, of course, using the designer paper to tell us what colors to use, right? I'm going to check. Oh, Martha, the ribbon is so pretty. Thank you. Yes, love coloring that ribbon. You should always have white crinkled seam binding on hand because you can just color it. Oh, I was going to look on this. See if Mango is a color. Yes, Mango Melody is a color in the designer paper. So again, I just got the idea to use that color, which actually that is a color on these stripes of designer paper too. I was thinking it was only So Saffron, but the darker is Mango Melody. So that's where I got the color combo idea from. Awesome. So I think that's pretty cute. Okay, our last card. We're going to make a shaker card. So I've pre-done a lot, don't worry. But there is some coloring, although I pre-colored everything, and then I'll just show a little. Okay, so let me grab these pieces. Basic white card base. Then a piece of Pool Party that's 4 by 5 1/4 for the front of our card. Then I have the 3 3/4 by 5 designer paper I cut at the very beginning. However, I've cut the rectangle out of it like I told you guys on a previous card. Then there's a piece of white, which I'll measure in a second, that's going to go behind that. Then there's a piece of window sheet that's also going to go behind that. I have a scrap of basic white here. Another scrap of basic white. And then I have this, what is she called? Scalloped Circle, which I die cut, if you noticed, from this pool party that's going on the front of the card. I pre-die cut that because no one's going to see that hole ever. I could also punch some hearts, like, and not do this right in the middle. You have all this paper to work with on all of your cards on the hidden parts. So I pre-die cut that circle. You'll know, no one will ever know, except for a smart demonstrator. Okay, from this piece of white, it's just a scrap to die cut the circle that I'm going to lay on top of the pool party one. And I can't remember. I think I did that because I wanted to show you guys how to die cut a circle, but I feel like I'm pushing my luck with my internet today, so I'll just say it and not do it. Okay, so those are all the pieces to make this shaker card. Let me take out some stuff here in front of myself so I can access it. I'm also going to use some of these gorgeous brushed brass butterflies. They are a must-have in my opinion. They're just gorgeous in person. And I'll be using our foam adhesive sheets. Okay, so let me fold this card base in half and get that out of the way. So we'll basically come back to that at the very end. It's a portrait shape card. Basic white card base. I folded it crooked. I'm trying to rush now. Oh, fixed it. So, on the machine, you have your number 1, number 2, number 3, which is the one for me that I cut on. As you can see, you cannot see through it. It's all cut. Cardstock, circle die, laid down, and then a clean number 3 on top that I never cut on. Run it through one time, you'll have this circle. Same thing, of course, with the scalloped circle. These are, it's not the smallest circle in our layering circles dies, amazing, but it's pretty small. It's a 1 3/8 inch circle, and then the piece that goes behind it, it's a tiny border, so it's just going to be about 1 1/2 of a scalloped circle. Okay, so that's my layering circles. And then stamping wise, where did I put all my pieces? So the white I told you that's going to go behind the opening, it is 3, it's like 3, I think I put 3 inches on my blog post, but it's 3 1/8 by 4 1/2. And then I just have a scrap of white. So for my stamping, I'm going to use the girl. Remember, I cleaned her earlier in Memento Black because I want to color her with Stampin' Blends. Again, don't stress, I colored her already on another piece of paper. But Stampin' Blends are amazing because they color so smooth. Anyone can color good with them. She's going to be kind of right in the center of the square behind, the rectangle behind the rectangle. So, just kind of in the center, but a little bit more toward the bottom so we can have some butterflies on top. So center, bottom-ish. Hopefully this will be good. And then the butterflies. We're going to have lots of butterflies on this card. Actually, I need my black. Okay, so the butterfly image, I think earlier, I stamped it in Flirty Flamingo, yes. So I'm going to use 2 colors on this card. First, I'll stamp them in Flirty Flamingo right up here above her net, kind of like before, except I'm just going to do it one time right in front of her net. And then I'll clean this off, and I'm going to stamp it 3 times in Memento Black on this scrap. Let's see, I'm going to clean it off. Here it is. Chamois. We sell another cleaner too called the Stampin' Scrub. If you ever, it's mainly to me for our red rubber ones if you ever need to really, really get in there. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this 3 times in Memento on my scraps here. Let's see. Oh, and last but not least on stamping is our greeting. So I love the greeting that comes in this set. This will be the last stamp, I believe, from the set, and then we've used them all. It says, collecting sweet thoughts of you. And again, all the words are stacked on top of each other, so it's nice and compact. So I'm going to use Pool Party ink for the greeting and stamp it on the circle, hopefully well. Yay, pretty good. Good enough. Okay, so all our stamping is done. Now for coloring, Stampin' Blends. So remember, February 1st, you can get all of these new skin tone colors. They're colored by number. They are from 100 to 1,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900, 1,000. That's their name, is the number. Now, technically in the catalog, it'll say like medium, medium brown, stuff like that. We still currently also sell ivory and bronze, which I do not know if they'll be discontinued or not. No information on that I've heard. Ivory is very similar, but it's not exactly the same as 900, at least not in my markers. And bronze is very, what did I decide? I think, well, now they don't look the same to me with all these lights. So bronze kind of stands on its own. So I'll be posting a picture of this on my blog later today as well. So there's the colors. You can mix the colors together to get the tone you need. I didn't do any mixing today because I'm not that good at it, but I did. So on the sample, I'll show you finished. I used number 200, which is this one. And on her, I'm going to use number, I have to read my notes, 700, which I thought matched me, but then I'm like, maybe not. And I wear like tanning lotion because I'm so white. So I thought it matched my tanning lotion. Kind of does, but when you put it on a face, it doesn't really, it looks kind of, what's the word? Orange or something, but maybe that's how tanning lotion looks. So, hey, we'll go with it. Anyway, those are the ones I chose for today. But of course, when you do your projects, you do whatever you want. You can test them on scratch paper to mix and match. I can even, Stampin' Up! Gave us a blank chart where we can write in what color combos we used and put them on there as a sample. I can share that if you guys are interested. Okay, so real quick, for 700 here, I just used the fine point. I didn't do any blending for the skin tone, so I just colored the faces with whatever color I used. And the neck, and the hands, and the feet. I will say these are tiny hands and feet. So you really need to get your readers out and barely touch this blend to them so that it doesn't bleed. Just because they're so tiny. But again, the reason I love blends, they don't color like a water-based marker. To be honest, I don't even use the Stampin' Up! Water-based markers ever anymore. But these, the more you color, the more you smooth out any lines. Now, of course, you can add shading and all that stuff. I could even add some pink cheeks on her if I wanted to. You can layer the colors on top of each other, all that stuff. But it gives you a smooth coloring, no matter your skill level. And then I'll just demonstrate, like on her hair, I'll just say what I did. I made both of them have dark hair because I have dark hair. So I used dark and light soft suede, and I added some dark first. Her hair is kind of like in thick sections, how they drew it. So you can kind of color some sections any colors you want. But I added some dark to some of the sections, and then I went over the whole thing with light. So you'll see how that looks finished. Actually, I'll just pull this one in. It's a lot darker. Her dress is so saffron. I wanted to go with the yellow from the designer paper. You already saw how I colored the dress earlier. And I want, like, you want to do a pink dress, but let's go with yellow. And then the net, that's the one well, I don't really need to demonstrate it because I showed you already how I colored them. So I took Smoky Slate. Sorry, I was confused as to a product I had laying over to the side. I was trying to remember why it's there. It's the Flirty Flamingo Blends, which was for the ribbon. I took the dark and I just basically went over all these little hash mark X lines that are drawing the net. And then I went over the whole thing with light Smoky Slate. Now, I think it's also questionable, do we even need to color the net? Because it would really be see-through like this, but I colored it Smoky Slate. So, hey, take that as you will. Okay, so she's colored in. The whole image is colored in. The butterflies are up there. That's good to go. Then these butterflies, I just colored in with different Stampin' Blends. Actually, that's where the flirting came in. I remember now. So actually, all I used was light and dark. So saffron, light and dark Flirty Flamingo. And I only colored on each image. There are 6 butterflies, but I only colored the 3 large ones on each one. So that's 9 butterflies. And then I hand cut them out. So I'll kind of show you what colors I used here real quick. Hey, GN, thank you for sharing. Landa, recognize the baggie? Very useful for small pieces. Landa's so good at packaging my class packets up. So good for y'all. So she always puts small pieces in those little baggies. So this kind of largest butterfly, I did dark Flirty Flamingo on the inside of the wing and I think dark So Saffron on the outside. This one down here, I used Flirty Flamingo on the bottom inside pieces, dark So Saffron on the top inside pieces, and then light So Saffron on the outside. And then the last one I just made all So Saffron, so it's dark in the little centers and light all around the edges. So I have 9. There's 8. Who knows? We'll just go with 8 if that's all I have. I had 9. Did cut them all out. And then that's going to be my shaker portion. So I think we're ready to put this card together. One thing I want to do, what I used my brass butterflies for is, and I just realized the way I placed it, it didn't show, one of them did not show on my first card, so I'll fix that now. I used a large brass butterfly down here, sort of behind the girl, flying up near her. You want to keep these close to her because what I did, my greeting covered up the small one. And then I take a small brass butterfly and I'll put it more like right by her little face. It's flying to her face, but it's a tiny one. Okay, so all that, you need to do all your stamping and embellishments before you obviously make the shaker card. Remember, brass butterflies. They're sticky on the back. They're awesome. Okay, and then to make a shaker card, or to review you on how to make a shaker card, you're going to take your outside piece, whether you cut a circle, you had a shape already from a kit you bought, whatever it is, and you turn it over backwards and add adhesive around the edges because we need to stick our window to that. So I'm using my silicone craft sheet there. Actually, I'm going to leave that upside down. And I'm going to stick the window to it. This is the step most people do too late. The window goes on first, which for me is Stampin' Up's window sheets. That's this piece that I keep moving over here. They're just clear 12 by 12, really thick acetate. And they're in our annual catalog. They're called window sheets. You can see I keep all my window sheet scraps so that I can use them for all kinds of stuff later. Okay, so I turned over my frame to the back and attached the window sheet. Next, I want to add sticky, but with dimension, so that I can put a shaker in there and it'll move around. So I use our foam adhesive strips. They're amazing. They're in our annual catalog. This is the size you get when you buy them, but many times I will cut the whole sheet in half. And you can use these for lots of other projects, not just shaker cards, but that was their original, like, why they were invented. And at least for us. So you can piece these together if needed, but basically you want to, pretty close to the opening, you want to make a box or a circle or whatever your shape is around your opening. And depending on what you're going to put inside, like if it's sand or little bitty beads, you need to seal those corners tight. We're putting these stamped and hand-cut butterflies, so we don't have to have as tight of a seal because they're not going to go through a crack that's like 1/8 of an inch. There's no way. This little piece is a little bit long, so I'll just trim it. And then I'll just stick that on the bottom. So you can also use little pieces you've had leftovers from before to piece together a side. And then this is just for future reference going to end up going on the full front of the card. So we want it to be balanced dimension wise. So I'll use little pieces of the foam adhesive strips around the other outside edges so that it's raised up the same thickness. Now I know some people who would just put full strips. I'm not those people, but you certainly can. It doesn't hurt anything. I mean, it just uses more product, but it does not hurt your project in any way. So hopefully that makes sense. Just put what you think you need around it to keep it raised up and balanced all the way around. I'm going to do one at the top here because or bottom, whatever this ends up being, it's a little, there's more space than the other side. Okay, so that's me. Love foam adhesive strips. They're awesome. Okay, then your next step, you would think, is to put your filler in here. And for this card, it might not be too bad to do it that way, number 700, because she doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but I never do it that way. I always leave the piece I stamped on, or the designer paper, or whatever it is that's going to be behind the whole filler thing. Leave that on my table flat. I put these beads, sand, coffee grounds, sequins, whatever the heck you're filling this with, I put it directly on top of the cardstock. Now, if it's like beads or something, I keep them really tight in the middle, but these are stamped butterflies, and so I found that I had like stacked them all really tight and put them in the middle, and then they were like thick and they didn't want to shift at first in my original sample. So I'm just spreading them out a little bit, but still toward the middle. I'm going to peel the protective coating off from the back side of these foam adhesive strips. And then what this allows me to do is visually center and place the image, the stamped image, exactly where I want it. Hopefully that is making sense. These butterflies are, because they're paper, or I don't even know why, but they're a little staticky, so they start to jump up to your window sheet. And now they shake. So cute. To attach this to the pool party, we'll just add some adhesive to the, you can see by the way I stamped her in the wrong place, I think, or something. So I had already stamped on the back of that one. Anyway, adhesive to the back of that white piece that we just added. And now I'll peel the protective coating off of these edge pieces and just put it on this pool party. Of course, if ribbon were going around or something, you would need to do that before you attach to your card base, but we're not doing that. So shaker cards are really simple. I always like don't make them. Like I build them up in my head that they're some trouble, but they're not. They're so simple. Super easy to make. And there's other ones you can make that are like faux shaker cards or easier ones with envelopes and stuff, but I do like the real ones. I just ran out of adhesive, but I have another one over here. Rather than refilling, I'll just use this one real quick. This is my stamping one. Like designing, I should say. I have adhesives all over this room. Okay, so collecting sweet thoughts of you goes down here on the bottom right with dimensionals. Now this is a very thick card, I realize that, so check with your post office on how much postage you need. I'll just do a dimensional on the top and bottom of this circle. And we'll go right down in the corner so it's kind of on the designer paper, kind of in the window sheet. And then just put this on my card base and I'm done. Oh, that's the empty one. You can tell they're empty when you see the red line, like, and it won't come out. When I took my photos, so here's the original one I made. This is number 200. This is 700. When I took my photos, I forgot to spread the butterflies around, so they were like all down in the corner, like not even good like that. They were like this. Anyway, I fixed one of my photos, but I was in a rush yesterday. This one's staticking by her face. But anyway, hopefully you like my little shaker card. I actually thought about peeling the sticky off of the back of the brass butterflies and letting those be shakers, but then I looked and it was like fully covered. It wasn't just a dot, so I was like, no, I'm not going to mess with that. But that is it. Thank you, Pat. Don't forget, you have all these choices of skin now with Stampin' Up product anyway, including currently bronze and ivory. So that's cool, I think. And you can mix those up and all that stuff. Hopefully, we did some inspiring stuff today. Thank you guys for coming back or sticking with me when I lost internet again. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Jean. Julie, gonna see you soon, by the way. Thank you, Margie. Let me bring back all the cards. Oh, and I have a couple of extra samples here. So that was the first one. Like, what did I do? And there's the middle one. Anyway, they're out of order. Actually, I'll put them in order, and if you want to say which one you like best, please feel free. Always forget to tell people that. Okay, so some additional samples here are, this one was from my new catalog kickoff, which I actually copied this idea from Genevieve Coe. But anyway, there it is. Super cute, I think. And then this is also from my new catalog kickoff. So we use the large rainbow dies. Remember, those are low inventory. Y'all order them now. And just the butterflies up here to the top right of that with some striped paper behind. It's that Sunshine and Rainbows paper. And then these are a couple of swaps I've received from other people. Oh, look, she colored the net gray also. Cool. I don't even remember if I saw that first. And look, her little butterfly has 2 small rhinestones on it. They do fit perfectly, so that's cool. And I think she has some soft suede hair also. Oh, look at the cheeks too. Just any little like petal pink or something. And then this one just uses the butterflies, but with the daffodil designer paper, which is also free with a $50 purchase. And that's from one of my team swaps. So, all right. Thank you guys very much. I'm glad I didn't have to do 2 separate videos. Whew, that really, I don't like it when I have to do that. Who said that? Elizabeth needed ideas. I did too, Elizabeth, honestly. So that's why I decided to use it. There are a lot of ideas out there, but I wanted like something a little different. So anyway, hopefully the shaker card is and the little heart, you know, hopefully I helped you all out or not. That's fine. But Julie likes 1 and 3. Thank you very much. Love these new skin tone blends. Wish you had them at Christmas for Nativity. Yes. I know we couldn't get them until January, right? I can't even remember now. Good. I'm glad you like the chart, Jocelyn. Like I said, just in case anyone missed it, this will be posted on my blog later today. It's basically as soon as I get the video going on YouTube, I make the blog post live, if that makes sense. So I do it as soon as I can, but sometimes internet is not my friend. But anyway, a picture of that will be posted on the blog today as well. So I think it helps. But once you get them in person, you can do it, and you can really use it if you're trying to match it to a certain person. It can help, maybe. Maybe. Because I didn't really think this looked like mice. Not that one. Where's the card? This one. Afterward. But it's fine. I don't really... fine. Thanks, Donna. Thanks, G-Ann. Thanks, Nancy. Haven't made a shaker in a long time. I had not either until this one. Like, it's been a while. So I know what you mean. Hey, Linda. Thank you. Okay. Well, it just said live video interrupted on my iPad, so who knows. But I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to y'all so that we don't have any more issues. So thanks very much. I appreciate your business. Remember, I won't be live next week, but I'll be back on the following Thursday. And just thank you guys very much. Any questions, just let me know. Bye.